This is CBC Here and Now.
Oh, it's going to be a scorcher here tonight in the town of Portugal Cove, St. Philip's. It's bonfire night. The pallets are piled high and some folks are starting to arrive. We're going to light it up in just a few minutes.
Next year we won't be in St. John's. We're going to move the tent to another locale.
Heading west, sort of, a popular St. John's music festival is cutting its ties with the city.
Sure, it's all about
We are strong and we are proud.
And later, we meet one of the teens from Natwashish behind this music video and their message of growing up in the Innu community. Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Anthony Germain. A popular music festival in St. John's is moving out of the city just down the road to Mount Pearl. Iceberg Alley is an 11-day festival that had been held on the shore of Katie, but as Here and Now's Mark Quinn reports, the promoter couldn't strike a long-term deal with the city.
Anyone who's planning a music festival might want to consider this spot. This is where Iceberg Alley had its tent last year, but this coming year it looks like this spot on the shores of Kitty might be available.
John Steele owns the Jag Hotel and he's the president of Brigus Production Company, the group that puts off the Iceberg Alley Festival, and he says this festival is moving west.
Next year we won't be in St. John's. We're going to move the tent to another locale.
John Steele says he has nothing but good things to say about St. John's and its municipal leaders, but he says they couldn't hammer out the 3 to 5 year deal he was looking for.
It just kept being deferred, so we decided to just go elsewhere.
They did come through the Special Events Advisory Committee and ask for a 3-year commitment from the city. I asked that they commit to doing some public engagement prior to that due to the amount of feedback that I hear from residents in Pleasantville about the impacts that 11 days of concerts has on their life in the fall each year. And so we were prepared to vote on that Monday passed, and they asked for us to defer and then made this announcement.
So right now it looks like the festival is moving here to Mount Pearl, probably to this complex off Smallwood Drive.
We're currently in the process of working that through. We got that almost done, and we'll be up and running for next year.
Mount Pearl City Council is discussing a proposal from Iceberg Alley at a private meeting today, and Council's expected to vote on that proposal at its public council meeting next week. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, from icebergs to bonfires, my co-host Carolyn Stokes is about to get a little toasty at a Guy Fawkes Day celebration. So Carolyn, now what's up with the fire?
Hi, Anthony. Yes, I'm out in the town of Portugal Cove, St. Philip's, and it is a beautiful night for a fire. There's like not a breath of wind. Lots of people you can see over here are starting to gather. They're keeping back for now because we're just about to light the fire, and I actually get the honor of doing so with local firefighter Brian Tucker. So tell me, how are we going to do this? What is this? This is like a flamethrower.
It's a propane torch. I'm going to hand it over.
I'm going to call it a flamethrower.
Yes, it's a flame. It's a flamethrower. I'm going to hand it to you, and
Okay.
I'm going to let you do the honors.
All right, excellent. So I just kind of get in here,
Yep.
and we have some paper in here to.
Yep. There's some paper in there. You just give it a blast.
Okay. Here, can you hold this
There you go.
for me?
Sure.
I just want to point the mic at her. Whoa.
You can leave it going.
Is it going? All right. Oh, I have the power. I'll hand this back to you because this is going to take a few minutes to get this going. This is like 12 feet high of pallets, right?
Yeah, it'll take a few minutes for us to get it started here now.
All right, perfect. So yeah, we'll check back in a little bit later in the show, and I'm sure this will be a wonderful spectacle to see. Back to you, Anthony.
Well, that beautiful evening that Carolyn's talking about is all thanks to a ridge of high pressure that is currently moving offshore, and in behind that we do have an area of low pressure. That's going to strengthen as we head through the day tomorrow. It's going to move over Labrador, and as that cold front pushes through, it's going to change the direction of the winds, and those winds are going to pick up. So unfortunately, over the next couple of days, we do have a couple of warnings in place. Wind warnings along the west coast, northern peninsula mainly. And then because of that wind shift and those cooler temperatures behind that cold front, we're looking at the perfect setup for some snow squalls. So hopefully you have those winter tires on, but I'll have all the details for your forecast coming up.
Thanks, Ashley. The union representing Mount Pearl City Council workers is sounding an alarm about the ongoing HR investigation involving the city's top bureaucrat. Steve Kent is off on administrative leave as an outside lawyer reviews allegations about his workplace interactions with city staff. CUPE says it's concerned about morale at City Hall as well as the mental well-being of its members. Late this afternoon, union leaders said they've heard that the investigation may wrap up early and that Kent could soon return to his job.
We need this process to move forward and we need to see an end result. And I think Council has a duty and a responsibility to the workers of the City of Mount Pearl and to their constituents to see that this process is followed through and that the results are made public.
In a message to CBC News, Mount Pearl Mayor Dave Aker declined to comment. As some young activists looked on, city councillors in St. John's voted to declare what's happening with our changing climate an emergency. The public gallery was full last evening. Among them, a handful of young people who wanted to see how the city would deal with a motion to treat the changing climate as an urgent concern. When it came to the floor, every councillor voted in agreement and committed to a sustainability plan that would see emissions reduced in coming decades.
Really exciting. I didn't expect it to happen, so it was really amazing just hearing everyone stand up and say, you know, I'm definitely going to support this, and seeing everyone support it. It was definitely great knowing that, you know, the council believes in what we stand for and are going to take action against climate change.
I really think that demonstrations and protests are like a huge part of democracy, and that it's really important that we continue to hold our city accountable through like getting people out and through telling them what we want. I think that's a really valid way to communicate with councillors what people want, and it's councillors' job to represent us.
Well, Dwight Ball is losing one of his key ministers from the House of Assembly, but Andrew Parsons isn't resigning as Minister of Justice and Public Safety. Here now is Peter Cowan joins us live now from our newsroom. So Peter, what's behind this?
Anthony, Andrew Parsons says that this is a personal, not a political issue that he's dealing with. There's a family health issue and he needs to take time away in order to deal with that. Now, you'll remember that just a couple weeks ago, he resigned as government House Leader, handing over those duties to Siobhan Cody. But here's how he described the most recent situation that he's dealing with to reporters this afternoon.
I have a family medical situation. And it's hard to be a House Leader when you're not here. So I'll still be working. I can still do this job. We live in a province where I'm able to, you know what, the reality is I already do a lot of work online, telephone, conferencing, Skype, FaceTime, you name it.
One key thing that a minister does have to do in person is answer questions in the House of Assembly. So when justice and public safety issues come up, it'll be left to other ministers who will answer those questions on Parsons' behalf. And so during this period, he said he is going to continue to be working remotely. And he says none of this has to do with the scrutiny that he's been under over his role in wetland capping. He was the Minister of Environment, and when the government wasn't able to meet the timelines to get the wetlands capped at Muskrat Falls. But he says he is more than happy to participate in any investigation, for example, the Auditor General, who may now be looking into this issue.
I look forward to the opportunity to talk to the Auditor General. I look forward to the opportunity to talk about wetland capping. I can't wait, because I'm pretty tired of having my name dragged through the mud, right?
Now, Andrew Parsons didn't provide any details about what the medical issue is that his family is dealing with, and he said he's not sure at this point just how long he's going to be out of the House of Assembly. Anthony?
Well, to Labrador now, where Nalcor has resumed full electrical work on the powerhouse at Muskrat Falls. Two contractors were ordered to stop work a couple of weeks ago following a close call with an electrified cable. Nalcor says the Occupational Health and Safety Division has removed the stop work orders. The company says a safety review has been done with contractors on site. The Come By Chance oil refinery is on a roll. It's increasing production and has some major investments, and both the leadership and employees are expressing growing optimism about the future. Here Now's Terry Roberts has this look at the oil refinery as well as the company behind it.
We're on a high peak here right now. This is as good as it's ever been.
It's not often that the Come By Chance oil refinery generates positive headlines, but years of doom and gloom appear to have been replaced by optimism and growth.
Our safety record and our environmental footprint and our overall operation is just continuously getting better by the day, and we have a very, very bright future here.
Newfoundland's only oil refinery used to be a basket case, a money loser, 5 different owners, a political scandal, safety and environmental concerns. But the talk is different these days.
We've had some low valleys, like you said, but this is really good. Everyone seems to be happy here right now, and we're making a lot of progress.
The new owners are getting much of the credit.
Since Silver Peak took ownership in 2014, things have continuously improved here at the plant.
And employees also praise this man, outgoing CEO Thomas Jenka, for the turnaround.
I think what I leave behind is a company that is set really towards a very prosperous and successful future, because we have stabilized the operation.
18 months of uninterrupted operation, something Jenka says was previously unheard of, is proof the refinery is on the right track.
We see refinery closures and refineries in trouble around us, and we have turned the tide towards a situation where we're becoming, swimming really on top of everything.
And there are big plans for the future, including a pipeline to the nearby Whiffen Head terminal where Newfoundland offshore oil is landed, a coker complex that will allow the facility to accept Hebron oil. Hibernia crude is already being refined here.
We like to be proud to say that this crew right here is the smell of success.
And in order to meet greenhouse gas emission targets, the refinery has invested heavily in fuel efficiency projects.
We've seen increases in our environmental performance from a greenhouse gas perspective. We have lower emissions and we have lower sulfur dioxide emissions in recent years as well.
That's all very good news for the more than 500 employees and contractors and neighboring communities.
There's no issues on the table right now, and we're very proud of the relationship we got with our communities.
Basically, we're coming from what we call a basket case refinery to become a refinery of the future, and we will be growing the throughput even further. And by the end of 2021, we will be the 4th largest refinery in Canada.
Terry Roberts, CBC News, Come By Chance.
An update for you now on a story that CBC Investigates has been following. A St. John's man has won his legal battle against a local headstone company. Roy Cowell says he paid W.D. Kenny Granite Company more than $9,000 in 2018 for monuments that he never received. Owner Bill Kenny failed to appear for the small claims trial this morning. Now, the judge said the company, quote, acted deceitfully and ordered that it repay Cowell.
It's been a nightmare, a total nightmare for my family, for these families, and especially for my mom, who's up in her 80s. We've given up all hope of ever getting a dime back. There's more involved than just money. It's the principle, is what he has done and the wrong that he has done to each and every member of our families.
Other families who say they haven't received headstones from W.D. Kenny Granite Company were also in the courtroom today. Gerard Knight says a trustee paid for his uncle's monument 2 years ago. And last November, they took Kenny to court.
When they sued Kenny, won the case, and he still never installed a headstone. Still just a stick in the ground.
We went to Kenny Monuments because he was family members, and thinking it was in the family, we would just say our dad would be really proud of us going to Kenny's. And when we got there, we just got story after story. Father's Day was coming up and we wanted our dad to have his headstone. So we called another company within 8 days, my dad had a headstone. And we were almost a year and a half with Bill Kenny trying to get a headstone. It's not right.
Now, meanwhile, W.D. Kenny Granite Company is in receivership. A trustee took possession of the property on Topsail Road in Mount Pearl in September. Well, Canada may have lost in the end, but an athlete from this province was the breakout star in last night's Canada versus Russia hockey game.
Here's Pelche, passes across, they score! Dawson Mercer puts the QMJHL in front for the first time.
Number 17 is Dawson Mercer from Bay Roberts, and he had a goal and an assist last night in the 2019 CIBC Canada-Russia Series. Mercer regularly plays in Drummondville in the Quebec Major Junior League, but he's playing for Team Canada in this series. And even though Russia won last night's game 4-3, the 18-year-old was named Player of the Game.
It's a great group of guys here. We have a lot of talent on this team from the league, and being put in that situation with playing with good players around me, I'm really happy to have that chance and bring my game to the next level out there.
Now tonight, Mercer and his team will be in Moncton, New Brunswick for Game 2 of the Canada-Russia Series. Team Canada is made up of players from the Quebec Major Junior League, the OHL, as well as the WHL. And good luck tonight. back to the program. First, we start with breaking news.
Temperatures are dropping into the minus single digits.
Time now to check in with our Carolyn Stokes.
It is just packed with people.
The company says it's picking up salmon.
Looks like an absolutely gorgeous afternoon.
Hard to believe it's November in Newfoundland. It's the island. I'm not sure about the big land, but what another gorgeous, beautiful day.
It was stunning out there today.
Yeah.
Very well, winds picked up a little bit, which felt a little bit cooler. But take a look at these temperatures that we saw today. Single digits for most of us, around 8 degrees for St. John, 7 in Gander, 10 in Corner Brook, and then we've got those cooler temperatures up through Labrador. But look at what's happening over the Maritime provinces. We've got temperatures in the double digits. 11, 12 degrees, that's headed our way as we head into the next 24 hours, so that's certainly good news. But currently we are sitting in those single digit temperatures, drop now to 4 degrees in St. John's and similar temperatures really across the board, a little warmer along the south coast. And then still looking at those cooler temperatures up through Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and Lab City sitting at 0 degrees right now. So what's happening? Well, we've got that ridge of high pressure. That's what's responsible for our beautiful afternoon and yesterday's beautiful weather as well. But we do have a low pressure system happening or moving in right now with a warm front, which is where some of that warmer air is coming from, and an associated cold front. Now, as that low continues to track across Labrador, it's actually going to deepen. So it's going to bring some of that warmer air in with it, especially up through portions of central Labrador and then for parts along the coast as well. That's why you're going to see what's falling right now is either snow or showers. It should be showers overnight as we see a little bit of a push of that warm air. Mainly Lab West, though, you're going to stay into the light snow or flurries overnight tonight. And then we'll start to see some of that warmer air move in, especially along the west coast, with that rain heavy at times as well towards the morning hours. So here's a look at the picture tonight. A beautiful evening, 2 degrees for St. John's. Those temperatures, like I said, already sitting around 4 degrees. You're going to drop a couple more degrees, and those winds will eventually pick up. We're going to see 20 to 30 kilometer per hour winds out of the southwest. Southerlies for the west coast, similar, between 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. Your temperature hovering around 6 degrees. There's that little bit of a push of warm air as I was mentioning, so about 4 degrees for Happy Valley, Goose Bay. Then along the coast, you're going to stay with those temperatures above 0 as well. Lab City, unfortunately, you're going to stick around -2, but again, that light snow sticking around. So here's that low pressure system. It deepens tomorrow, and as it does so, and that cold front pushes through, we're going to see that wind shift to west northwesterlies. And because of that, with some cooler air moving in, we do have the recipe for some snow squalls, more than likely into the evening hours and overnight as those winds pick up. But in that regard, we do have a special weather statement in effect along the west coast, and again with those wind warnings. We're looking at gusts upwards of about 100 kilometers per hour. But before we get into that, we do have quite a bit of rain on the way. This is taking us through to Thursday morning, so this is starting tonight and then through the day tomorrow. Most of the rain will fall along the south coast. We're looking between 30 to 50 millimeters for the south coast. Otherwise, anywhere from 10 to about 20 millimeters along the west coast. Northeast coast, not significant rainfall at all. We're still looking at about 4 to 10 millimeters of rain for most of us. So that's a look at what we're expecting. We'll get into the temperatures. I mentioned a little bit of a warm up, and we'll talk more about those snow squall chances when I come back.
All right, time. Whoa, let's check back in with co-host Carolyn Stokes. Of course, Stokes is also a verb, as you can tell right there, as Carolyn is stoking the flames in Portugal Cove, St. Phillips. Wow, I guess you've got your own warming device tonight.
Oh my goodness, Anthony, you can really feel the heat coming from this. This has got to be at least 20 feet high. I tell you, a cool, crisp night in the town of Portugal Cove, St. Phillips just got really, really hot. So yeah, the flames are really going there now, and lots of people here. It's got to be a couple of hundred people so far. And joining me now to talk more about this event is Nicole Clark. Nicole is the recreation director here with the town. So tell me why the town wanted to do Bonfire Night.
So this is a fun night for us. We are one of a lucky group of towns who have a volunteer fire department. So this is a feature for them. This goes very well with their mandates and what they do, fire safety. So it's an awesome way for us to partner with them and our local scout group. So it's education for them and stuff like that. So it's a really fun night.
And a lot of municipalities don't do this anymore. They don't light massive fires like this. So why does the town want to keep this tradition going?
So all the families that are out here, it's a school night. We do it early enough that they can go home, get dressed up in jackets, come, we'll give them supper, and it's just a nice night out. Fresh, cool, fresh air, it's fun.
Yeah, oh my goodness, can you feel that heat?
And as soon as you step one step away, it gets really cold.
Yeah, for sure. And you folks can't see at home, but the fire department is standing by. We have a fire truck right behind there, so this is all very, very safe. And I have some more folks here, some young people who are here to see the fire. So tell me what you guys think of this fire.
This is a very exciting moment. I hope everybody has a great time.
Oh, how big is this fire? How would you describe the size of this fire?
I would say 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet?
Up.
And what do you think of this fire?
It's really hot.
Yeah, it is. What else are you guys going to be doing here tonight? Are you going to have some hot chocolate?
I think it's 61 feet.
61 feet, that is very specific. It is very, very big. And I have some more folks here. I heard Nicole mention that the Scouts are also involved with this. So I have Niles here with me, and all three of you, you're with the Scouts. Tell me what your role is here tonight.
We had a bake sale today.
Okay, and what's the bake sale for?
For Scouts Canada.
And what kinds of things are you selling?
Like cupcakes, cookies, anything like that.
And what do you think of this night? This is pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
How would you describe the fire?
It's pretty warm. It's really big compared to it was the other few years.
Were you expecting it to be this large?
Nah, I would have cut off like the top half of it.
Awesome. So yes, you know, this is Bonfire Night, also known as Guy Fawkes Night. So a little bit later in the show, we're going to speak with a folklorist, an archivist over at the folklore department over at MUN to talk a little bit about the origins of this exciting night.
All right.
Back to you, Anthony.
Don't let your hair get too close to those flames.
Try to keep it back.
We are strong and we are proud.
Next, meet one of the Natwashish High School students behind this music video who rap and sing about what it's really like to grow up in northern Labrador.
lost so many people, that's why we numb the pain. But the future is bright and there will come a day. So much racism, I want to run away.
You're looking at a video featuring students from the Mushwa Innu Natwashi School. In early October, they wrote and recorded this hip-hop song with the help of Germain. It's a non-profit organization that runs arts and educational programs in First Nations, Métis, and Inuit communities and schools. Shot entirely in Natwashish, these students wrote the lyrics, and they only had 5 days to get it done. Well, joining me now from Natwashish is Sam Rich, and he's the tall guy that you just saw rapping in that video there. Hi, Sam.
Hello.
So give me a sense of what it was like for you and your friends to do this video. What was it like?
It was an amazing experience.
Do you see it's hard when there's nothing to do?
Me and the other guys, we did stuff we thought we wouldn't do. We didn't expect this much, but we did.
And when you saw the final video and what it looked like, what did you think?
It was cool and kind of emotional because we never did stuff like this here before.
When you say it was emotional, can you explain to people watching why this was important to do?
It was important to do because we want the parents to understand how some of their kids feel. They feel alone most of the time, like they have no one to talk to and stuff.
And I don't want to get too heavy with you, but some of the lyrics, they're pretty serious. The song talks about people drown in the dark and that there's so much racism, I want to leave, but this is my home and we're strong and we're proud. What's the message you want people to get from this video?
We give this message because we want other people to know we're strong. We're not just going to give up that easily.
The ending of the video is actually quite beautiful with you and others in the video appearing at the edge of the water wearing some traditional clothing. What do you like about the end of the video, Sam?
I like it because it shows us all 7 of us singing, looking at the landscape. Oh, beautiful it is.
We lost so many people, that's why we numb the pain. But the future is bright and there will come a day.
What did it feel like to be rapping in a video?
It feels different. I never rapped before. It was kind of like my first time. It was good.
You think
Very good feeling.
You think it's the kind of thing you'd like to try to do again?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay. Well, listen, Sam, obviously the video is getting a lot of play online, and I appreciate your time telling us about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Teens wrote the song and got to call the shots about what they wanted in that video, but the editing was done, as I mentioned in the beginning, by Germain, a not-for-profit organization that tries to amplify voices and stories of Indigenous youth in Canada. Well, moving now to the West Coast, you may think that tourism in Gros Morne takes care of itself, but this week dozens of people are in Rocky Harbour for a forum on attracting even more visitors. Here now's Troy Turner reports.
Scenery is something to behold, from the landmark mountain bearing the Gros Morne name to the tiny villages nestled among the park's peaks. The national park has plenty of sights to offer. But beyond the panoramic views, there are hundreds of people working on making the experience unforgettable. Parks Canada outlined some of its visitor experience strategies to a group of tourism operators and stakeholders this week. Part of that goal is to expand markets for some demographics, including millennials. That is in line with what the Gros Morne Outdoor Company offers.
It's great to hear from the park and, where they're focusing their messaging on currently and into the future. And it's good to see that they're acknowledging the sort of growth in the act of the millennial market. So that's certainly who I'm targeting with my business. And it's great to see the support from the park on that side of things as well.
Stephen Wheeler's business is only 3 years old, but he's seeing growth each year. This is also a trend for the park itself. Visitation is up 35% in the last decade.
I think you're going to see it continue to grow over the next decade, of course. And so, I think what we're looking at is how to manage that growth and, keep it in terms of a pristine environment that we all enjoy, but accommodating more visitors.
The Gros Morne Cooperating Association, a nonprofit that hosted the forum, also says what Parks Canada does is vital to operators.
So what we're looking forward to now is saying, pause, we need a tourism plan that sort of gives us the footprint now we move forward in the future so we don't over-tourism or we don't destroy the one thing that people are coming here to experience.
There's certainly no shortage of spectacular vistas here in Grossmoor National Park. And the direction that Parks Canada is taking with this park seems to be very well received by the people I talked to at the session. The next step for the park is to create a vision and recommendations for moving forward and exactly how they're going to implement those recommendations in the future. Troy Turner, CBC News, Norris Point.
Burn, baby, burn. It is Bonfire Night. Coming up on Here Now, we're going to talk about the origins of this toasty tradition. Back to Here and Now. I'm live out in the town of Portugal Cove, St. Phillips, where the local firefighters are packing some more pallets onto this massive fire behind me. Of course, it's Bonfire Night. Hundreds of people are here to enjoy the spectacle of the flames. But you know, this event got a more sinister start, I guess you could say, about 400 years ago in England. Earlier today, I stopped by the folklore department at MUN to speak with the archivist there about where all this came from.
So we remember the 5th of November to commemorate a plot to blow up Parliament. And basically, it was called the Gunpowder Plot. And it was set forth by Guy Fawkes and a bunch of other people to assassinate the Protestant King James. And basically, the plot was a total failure, and King James I said to everybody, you can continue to commemorate the failure of this event when I was not blown up, as long as you promise that it will not be disorderly. You know, it was a terrorist plot. And people were so thankful that this did not occur that you now have this tradition that's been going on for 400 years. It doesn't retain all of the historical significance to Guy Fawkes that it once did. So you don't even hear it called Guy Fawkes Night very often here. It's most often Bonfire Night. But even though it doesn't really have that significance anymore, it is still a very good opportunity for people to kind of get together on a cold evening when the days are getting darker and we don't have as much sunlight. And it brings together, you know, all different generations. So because it's been going on for so long and has been part of all of our lives growing up as Newfoundlanders, you get older people, you know, seniors and parents and little kids and teenagers all taking part in this. And it also has traditionally in Newfoundland been a night for pranks. So they would say, you know, on bonfire night to be careful because if you leave anything out in your yard, it could be taken and burned. There are stories of people's outhouses being stolen and burned in the bonfire, and stories of people's picket fences being taken and burned. So it was kind of an unspoken thing that if you left anything out on bonfire night that could be burned, it would be burned. The fires are much more regulated these days, so you get a lot more of the bonfires happening in rural communities, and it's a bit more regulated in, say, St. John's and Mount Pearl, but it's still going strong.
And it is definitely going strong out here in Portugal Cove, St. Phillips, as well as the fire behind us is definitely going very strong. And one of the people responsible for this is the captain of the local fire department, Chris Donovan. So what's it like for you, as someone who normally fights fires, to light a fire this big?
Well, to be honest with you, it's a lot easier for us to put the fires out than it is to start them. So it's a bit of trial and error for us, but after a little trial and error and with a little help from you, I understand.
Yes, I got to take part in lighting this a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a change for us, but we manage.
Yeah. So why do you think this is such a popular event?
Well, Guy Fawkes night, I mean, Bonfire night goes back to when we were kids. I remember collecting boughs and tires when I was about 10 years old and working for weeks up until that day. And the anticipation of the fire for that night was almost like a first Christmas.
So you liked it that much when you were a child. Does this have anything to do with the reason you became a firefighter?
Maybe. I've seen a few spray cans thrown in fires, and it wasn't nice. So yeah, looking at the fire, when it came time to put it out, I wanted it out.
And what happens here tonight now that this fire is going strong? How long is this going to rage on for?
I'd say probably about another hour. We've got enough pallets here, and like I said, we're only burning Class A material, so I'll give it another hour, and people have plenty of time to come out and have a look.
Okay, so you heard it here, Chris Donovan. Thank you so much. So yeah, if you're in the area, still time, another hour or so. Lots of pallets over there still to go on the fire. So if you're interested in coming out, got about an hour or so. That's it for us here in Portugal Cove, St. Phillips. Back to you, Anthony.
All right, thanks, Carolyn. It's Carolyn Stokes live in Portugal Cove, St. Phillips, enjoying that fire up there, as you can see. Well, bonfire night historically, as you can imagine, a fairly stressful time for first responders. Well, some future law enforcement officers in PEI, they're getting some unusual training. The Atlantic Police Academy wants students to better empathize with people who have mental illnesses. Sarah McMillan has more now on their new de-escalation training.
These students have a simple task to complete. With Monopoly money in hand and a short shopping list, they're sent into this makeshift convenience store. Their instructor plays the role of the cashier.
Sometimes they come into the village thinking, oh, I can do this, no problem. And they're actually quite shocked how difficult it is.
That's because these students are getting an idea of what it's like to experience an auditory hallucination. Through their headphones, they're hearing layers of sound, from background noise to insults to whispers.
Stop it now.
Hadfield has been leading this training for all students at the Academy for about 5 years. That includes the police officer program, conservation, corrections, and this program for future sheriffs.
Calls that are involved in policing in itself, 60% of people that have mental health issues. So the numbers are staggering.
They've been learning about mental illness in class and strategies like speaking slowly and clearly and giving people space. But Hadfield wants them to have a deeper understanding.
We can tell cadets over the training what to do in an interaction with somebody who's having a psychotic break, but it's very difficult for them to empathize. So when we tell them to slow down their speak, to repeat, then they understand why.
There are lots of blank stares, jumbled answers, and these students say a real feeling of stress just in this brief scenario.
It was almost like I was skiing down a hill and I had no idea how to ski. And then you think, like, we only did that for, I think it was 5 minutes, but that to me felt like 2 hours I was in there for, and I would not want to wake up every day and have to hear those voices in my head.
I didn't hear her when she asked about the weather because I was facing the other way and I was focused on the items and the voices.
Hadfield hopes they'll remember that feeling when dealing with people on the job, and she hopes training like this will catch on more and more elsewhere in the country. Sarah McMillan, CBC News, Summerside.
All right, enjoyed another great day, as I said, at least here, but you mentioned what, some rain. So when's the rain going to start?
Yeah, we're going to start to see that rain push in the early morning hours for the West Coast. Let's take a look at the future tracker. Let's see what we're looking at. So there's that heavy rain by morning. You can see along the south coast. And with that, those winds are really going to ramp up. Those showers are going to move across the island through the day. By the time the afternoon rolls around, that's when we should start to see some of those showers heading towards eastern Newfoundland and the Avalon as well. But in behind that, we've got that cooler air up through Labrador, and the winds are going to shift as that cold front moves through and pick up as well. So here's a look at the temperatures. I mentioned a little bit of a warm up, so anywhere from 10 to 11 degrees. Again, the strongest or the most rainfall looks like it'll be the south coast, anywhere from 30 to 50 millimeters. But take a look at those winds. Southerly winds 50 to 70 kilometers per hour for most of the island, and then in the morning up along the northeast coast, or really the northern peninsula and the southeastern Labrador through the day, with winds out of the west-southwest for the west coast. Now, as that cold front moves through, we are going to start to see that temperature drop overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning, and that's where we're going to see that potential for some snow squalls. So the models are picking up on that. We could see anywhere from 5 to 10 centimeters in some of those heavier squalls. Now, along the coast, it's still quite early. Those temperatures aren't going to be that cold, so we might more than likely won't see any accumulation along the coast. But further inland and certainly in those higher elevations, we will likely see some of those higher amounts as far as snow squalls go. And then along the coast of Labrador as well, we're looking at the potential to see some accumulating snow Wednesday into Thursday. Could pick up anywhere from 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. And then the next system will move in on Friday, bringing another push of warm air for some of us, but that potential for some snow along the west coast and certainly up through Labrador. So here's a look at your temperatures on Thursday. A little bit of a drop, well, a big drop really in temperatures, 5 degrees. So we're looking at those single-digit highs across most of the island, even cooler along the west coast. So you're going to hang on to that chance of flurries through the day. And then up through Labrador, Lab City down to -7, -1 in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and Nain sitting at 4 degrees. So here's a look at the next couple of days. Going to stay windy, unfortunately, at least through the weekend, it looks like, with gusts upwards anywhere from 50 to 70 kilometers per hour at times. So Friday right now, we're looking at a bump up at 11 degrees. This may change a few degrees, but that's what it's looking like. And then we'll dip right back down into the single digits by the time the weekend rolls around. 3 to 5 degrees, it looks like. For central Newfoundland, you're going to see a little bit of a bump up on Friday, more than likely only sitting in the mid to high single digits, and then dropping back down for Saturday with that chance of flurries, and then Sunday 6 degrees. Now for western Newfoundland, unfortunately, it looks like flurries are going to be the story Friday night into Saturday, and staying gray for the most part. And then for eastern Labrador, 7 degrees tomorrow, and then anywhere from 1 to about -4 by the time the weekend rolls around. And again, hanging on to that potential for some flurries. For western Labrador, take a look at these temperatures. Down into the minus double digits as your overnight lows as we get into the end of the weekend. And it looks like flurries for you.
Thanks, Ashley. An Ontario woman is going public after learning what was happening to her elderly mother in a BC nursing home. Videos from concerned staff members showed bed bugs swarming her mother's sheets while the woman was confined to her room. It's a situation that one advocate says is part of a much larger problem at for-profit seniors' homes. Erica Johnson has more.
A bedbug outbreak, footage nervously taken last December by a nursing home worker inside the room of Rita Bedford, 94 at the time and blind, a resident at the Cascades, owned by one of Canada's biggest nursing home chains, Sienna.
Today is a new day.
Bedbugs from a neighboring apartment had infested Bedford's room. Documents show management brought in pest control for next door, but not for Bedford's apartment. Bedbugs multiplied, and management confined Bedford to her room for 2 weeks over Christmas. A worker sent the secret video to Bedford's daughter.
I was dumbfounded. I could not believe my eyes.
Another employee took pictures, emailed them to provincial health authorities, writing, "Please help these persons, it's inhumane." She alleged everyone was informed by management to lie. Since Bedford was blind, she couldn't see what was going on.
I could not believe that a facility in Canada, subsidized by the province, would allow something so hideous to happen.
BC's Ministry of Health investigated and found the nursing home was not in compliance with several regulations, including protecting residents from abuse and neglect. This lawyer is currently pursuing dozens of lawsuits against all 3 of Canada's biggest nursing home chains, Sienna, Extendicare, and Rivera, alleging neglect and abuse.
I'm infuriated that we still are allowing these corporations to make money off our seniors and still allowing them to make that money while delivering shoddy care.
The allegations against the big 3 chains haven't been proven in court. The companies say they don't have merit. As for the bedbug outbreak, Sienna declined an interview request. The nursing home giant did apologize to Rita Bedford and her family, saying their actions should have been better. Erica Johnson, CBC News, Vancouver.
Well, scientists from around the world have signed a declaration that they hope will spur governments to take immediate, meaningful steps against climate change. It's a call to action signed by 11,000 scientists from 153 countries. Now, they say greenhouse gas emissions are still rising and current efforts to reduce them are not enough. The climate crisis is accelerating faster than many scientists predicted and has caused more damage than many had earlier feared. They say they had to speak out because climate change is threatening ecosystems and the fate of humanity.
Well, want to know where you are. I was waiting for that reaction.
I know where this is.
Don't tell anybody.
I won't.
I'll tell you where this is too when we come back. Welcome back. An Ontario runner is raising awareness for the beautiful monarch butterfly by following its path.
To understand their migration, I think we have to run in their shoes, and I'm very passionate about monarch butterflies and conservation, but I also love running.
Now, they completed a series of races. They started in Canada and ended in the mountains of Mexico. Millions of monarchs make the daunting 5,000-kilometer journey from Canada to Mexico every fall, but the species is under threat. Loss of habitat, pesticide use, and climate change are hurting their survival. And they're such beautiful creatures. But it's true, I don't know, maybe anecdotally, I haven't seen as many as I used to, I don't think. I mean, I remember as a kid seeing them all over the place.
I had one actually just outside my window the other day.
Did you?
Yeah.
What a nice moment. Did you
At
start
least
singing?
it was one butterfly. I don't know what it was, but yeah. We'll take a look at the photo, even though you know where this is.
Best picture ever submitted.
And where was it, Anthony?
That would be in Salvage on the Eastport Peninsula.
That's right. Yeah, an absolutely gorgeous photo there. Thank you so much to Gordon Windsor for sending that shot in.
Yeah, and for those of you who know that, that's a hiking trail. That's not one of the main hiking trails people take. That one goes up and back towards where the museum in Salvage is. If you've never done that trail, next time you're down there, give it a... And they've all refurbished those trails. They're now called the Damnable Trails. There's a whole big story behind that.
Okay.
Damn the bell, damnable. Anyhow, I highly recommend it. And now Salvage can send me my cash, preferably in 50s, 100s, whatever you like.
Well, if you happen to go on that trail, or any trail really, and you want to send us a picture, send it to nlphotos@cbc.ca.
Have a great night.
Good night.
That was a joke.